Brad, as we start this episode, I have a confession to make. I haven't actually
Okay.
been in the office today as long or as much as I usually am. And the reason why is I started today bright and early and I was on meeting after meeting after meeting. And I really enjoy that interaction. But I tell you what, I needed to be outside just for a little bit. So I called in my agents and asked them to do some research and some tasks for me that are basically redundant tasks that my team relies on me to do. And I took time to go actually out, and you'll laugh, rock pick. But it gave me a chance to be out in this beautiful day and then make it back in time to meet with you. So I'm Laura with Agtivation, and this is another episode of Harvesting Growth. And I felt I needed to confess that to Brad, my dear friend, who joins me again this week as we talk about how to move some of those redundant tasks off our list and onto an AI system where we have an agent actually running in the background and completing tasks for us. So, Brad, like I said, that was my confession for the day. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing great. That's quite the confession. And I'm glad you've come clean and let us know what was really going on.
Yes. Well, for anyone that, well, I don't know, for our particular farm, we do have some rocky patches. And as the fields are starting to dry up, I can hear the teams that are out there walking the fields. And I just could not resist doing a few miles. Now it was probably about 40 minutes. So they will tell me that I didn't even scratch the surface and how many rocks they've picked up today. But I was glad to know that this research for some topics, some trainings, and everything that's coming up with our upcoming webinars was being done without me sitting here in front of the computer. Because again, we are on screens basically from morning to night, and having some systems in place to alleviate and free us up does help. So I feel energized. I feel like I've had a little bit of exercise and definitely some vitamin D, some fresh air. So today's episode, I just would like to kind of visit with some of those options that dealership owners, those that are working in dealerships, can feel like some tasks are being done behind the scenes with their agents. And we're not going to go into deep details, but we just want to let you know what options there are out there that you can work with somebody. Contact us, contact Brad. You'll be able to contact an expert if you have questions about setting up these agents. So, Brad, do you want to provide some insight as to how you've worked with agents before?
I was hoping you could tell me more, but I can share a little bit.
You share, and then I'll join in again.
Okay. Honestly, what I see happening in the world of AI and how it pertains to marketing for any type of businesses or business is that it's shifting. In the last few years that AI has been around, obviously it's becoming more mainstream. It's all around us. But what we're seeing is now the agentic portion of it or the agent portion of it and how that's going to continue to evolve when you'll have teams of agents and you'll have tasks being done that you never thought you could have done automatically before. So I'd love to hear more of what you have to say.
Well, thank you for sharing your experience. And as you mentioned, it's changing fast. I know in our past episodes, we talked about custom GPTs, still very, very valuable tools. So if we think of kind of a stair step, opening AI and just asking some basic questions, that's a great place to be. If you feel like you've got that, your answers the way you want it, you can ask your questions, you can interact with AI. The second tier might be using custom GPTs. And I know at Agtivation, we have a library for agriculture that you're more welcome to reach out. We can give you information about that membership. But those custom GPTs are built for precision ag dealerships, for ag business owners, and they have the trainings behind them. So you find out you're not training that custom GPT about agriculture all the time. Extremely helpful when it comes to doing social media, blogs, some of the marketing tasks, even to your SOPs, your hiring, how to go ahead and lay out maybe some checklists that your team might find helpful or your growers. So we've now stair step to that second level. Well, now once you've got everything going, you're thinking, okay, but it still takes screen time for me to sit down and work through, okay, the marketing element, or if you want to write a blog, or if you want to put some pieces out regarding trainings. Because again, this time of year, there's a lot of trainings, a lot of things that our customers, growers can definitely use that you guys are trying to put out there. So if we take that one step further, that's where agents come in. Now, there's some different systems out there that have pre-built agents, but if you think of an agent as your newest employee, it's always advised to train them, to think about what systems, what SOPs do you have in place in-house that maybe you can train your agent to do for you. And as I said, we're going to just keep this very high level, but we just want you to know what is out there or what's coming even faster. So, for example, today we're going to have Agtivation has blogs that we're always putting out for ourselves. We also help our clients with those. But for Agtivation's blog, my team is waiting on my blog. They're waiting on my information because that's what the company would like to, the team, our actual gals and guys that are working with me are waiting for my input. But I haven't had a chance to do the research. So I was able to ask my agent to go out and research the topics as to how AI can strengthen the marketing and make it easier for dealerships. So now we'll have all these pieces and they'll be able to provide it to Grace and Mara and to the other team members, and they'll be able to review it and not be waiting on me. So it did give me a chance to be off screen, but my homework was being done for my team. They appreciate it. So now when I do my video clips, when we're preparing for the webinar here in a few weeks, Christine has the talking points that we wanted to cover with those that are joining in our webinar. So it all kind of comes together. And really, like I said, I do feel energized that I had 40 minutes away from a screen today. And is everything perfect? Not yet, not right. But because we will then strengthen what research and how it was doing the research, it will get better and better and better. So our team, Activation team, will get better and better and better as all these pieces come together.
Okay, so you were able to simplify things for your company and your team, which obviously you can do now for people that work with you. Saved you some time. You got you off the screen, got you outside, which we all want to be outside more if we can be, especially when it's springtime and beautiful. And so you had some time. What did you go out and do? It's almost unheard of these days.
Well, I'm very excited because, like I said, I did not mind rock picking. So you mean what did I actually do, or how had my agent do?
No,
Or
what
what
did you
did I
do
do
outside?
outside? Oh,
Yeah.
when I went outside, I just walked miles upon miles. I just put on some boots because it's still a little, we have some wet spots still in our field. Went and just walked back and forth with the gator and picked up a lot of rocks, just a lot of rocks. And I picked up, well, okay, my husband picked up the horseshoe, but I brought it in here because I'm hoping that means that we will have some luck for our spring planting and get into the field soon. But anyway, it was, like I said, an enjoyable time that I knew things were moving forward and I didn't have to be sitting here in the office.
Perfect. I love it.
And the other thing too, I just want to kind of reiterate is this was just for me. So it was bringing things in. It wasn't publishing anything without my knowledge. It did not do any of that. It did not answer any emails. I did not have permissions for it to do anything of that. It did not, it just took care of some of the redundant work. So if you are a business owner and you look across what you've done the last few hours or weeks, or what takes your time during the day, what could you hand off to an agent to handle for you? Whether it would be the latest news in precision ag, whether it would be the markets. If you need to know about those ag markets, think of it as auto steer or even GPS. We are so accustomed to these high tech things in agriculture. I think at first it may seem daunting, but then if we think of it in that mode of, wait a minute, we are not needing to steer any longer if we're in a tractor that's set up that way, or if we're even looking at the autonomous pieces that are out there now where the grain cart can come up, or you're sitting there and you don't even have to be in that particular tractor. That mindset allows you to think of AI a little bit differently. You still have complete control. It's up to you to decide what it's doing and where it's gathering that information. But if it can collect it all, think about how convenient it would be if I walk into my house after my days here and everything that I need to cook for dinner was prepared, how much easier that would be. And that's kind of what we're saying is if you start planning these out, these agents can have all of your ingredients ready for you to decide how you want to use it and how you want to present it or put it out there. So again, think of auto steer, think of all these high tech elements that we already have in agriculture. What can you do to make your days less redundant? What do you think, Brad?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I mean, I think that as we continue to evolve in today's world, yeah. I mean, I just thought of one thing you said. It's like we still cook, but we have things that are pre-made, ready to go, good quality food, and we just put it in the oven or the microwave and it's done. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe we didn't have that option. But we continue to adapt. Like you say, maybe a little hesitant at first to say, what can I automate? What can I have this agent do? What can I simplify as far as my life so I have more life to live instead of grinding it out on tasks that sometimes are just no fun.
Exactly, exactly. And as much as we love to go out and watch the YouTube videos of the people that we see as our influencers or the people that we respect to bring the latest and greatest with agriculture to us, having your agent go out and review those videos and bring in saying, okay, actually, so and so didn't release one this week. Task done. So and so did release one this week. And we want to make sure we highlight this, that, and the other. That's what we run in the background with AI, is because obviously, Brad, you and I are trying to bring the latest with AI in a practical manner. Obviously, we're not mentioning every line item because some things is just not applicable in our area. We want to bring the practical AI. So as my agent goes out and gathers all that information, it goes and categorizes as to what would be most helpful for our audience, most helpful for small business owners in agriculture, so that it's not so overwhelming.
Well, that's just the thing. What is practical? How can we make it practical? And we already know that it's evolving so fast with actually how accurate and how smart AI is. Not perfect, but it continues to get better so that we don't have to take so much time doing all the things because we can trust it more now. Again, not foolproof. Still have to check it, have to keep a human in the loop, but it's just gotten so much better where now we can hand these tasks off and go, okay, yeah, here's all the summaries, here's the updates, here's the research I would have done, and it's done.
Yes, makes it very nice. Well, I know we've covered a lot today, and I appreciate your insight and your input and the encouragement. I hope that our viewers and listeners would subscribe so that they can keep, we invite you, of course, to subscribe. Ask your questions below, reach out with anything specific, and we will get back to you with information to help things go smoother in your dealership or in your business. And as we say here at Harvesting Growth with Agtivation, get out and play in that dirt. Thanks so much.